Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today. We're having 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts outside. It is too much. I am at Sherman Gardens in Corona Del Mar, and they've got a greenhouse that I'm going to film in, and it is very warm in here. It's nice. It's like in the 60s outside, and in here it's like 75 degrees. It's crazy. You can actually sweat. It's a lot. But so much is happening right now with technology, and it's not all good, okay? So we're going to cover that. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group, which I'll talk about a little later. Let's get into it right away. First things first, guys. Ford just applied for a patent. And the patent is amazing because what Ford wants to do is Ford wants to have the ability to work with the bank and the finance companies to repossess your car at a moment's notice. And check out the patent. The patent is below, the patent application, the story is below. Now, we've heard about, different things that are going to be subscription based, but the problem with this right now is that when you have an automobile and you have a car, with technology comes the ability for Big Brother to watch you. Everything from speeding to, you can have OnStar right now, and you can click OnStar and they can know exactly where the car is at by GPS and give you directions and things like that. There's some good to this technology, but there's also Big Brother-ish and bad things to this technology where, we've all had financial difficulties at one time or another in our lives. Maybe you couldn't make your car payment right now. Well, this goes back to technology that was created, basically 15 years ago. There was a car company that was notorious for, hey, you don't make your payment, we're just going to hit the kill switch. And a woman was traveling, Erica Hayes, back in 2013. She had a Kia, 2006 Kia, and got a month behind in her payment. She was traveling, goes to a car about 20 miles away from her house, and, hi, car's been shut, you need to make the payment. Well, I'm 20 miles away from home, I got to get home. Single woman, dangerous, in an area that she doesn't know, needed to get home. So what did they do? They said, okay, we'll make you a deal. We'll give you 1 hour, okay? You drive home, make the payment. I promise I'll make the payment when I get home. And sure enough, she didn't have the money and didn't make the payment, and they just shut off the car an hour later. And this is something that they're doing more and more often to people. Now, Ford's idea and the patent idea is this. Not only will they disable things like your electric windows, okay? Hey, you're a day late in your payment, your electric windows won't work. Your heat won't work. What if it's freezing? What if it's Michigan right now and you don't have heat in your car? What are you gonna do? Seriously, what do you do? Okay, no air conditioning, no power, no power windows, no seat adjusters, no heated seats, anything that they could have, no traction, no power, things like the radio, things like the computer on board, things like your GPS. They're going to start to control all this. But Ford wants to go one step further to where the car is basically going to be disabled if you don't make the payment, built into the manufacturer of the car if you finance it, and then it's going to shut itself off and repossess the car. It's going to literally drive the car to the impound yard. Or if the car is of a certain age, we'll drive it to the salvage yard. That is crazy, guys. Absolutely nuts. Look at how this room is filling with steam right now. You guys see that? Isn't that cool? But you've got all this great foliage in here. And again, it's just so windy and so crazy outside. I'll walk out there. But you've got the turtle swimming. The little tiny turtle right there. See that guy right there? And then you got the koi fish. But I'm going to remember this spot just for future videos because it's really nice. It's really cool in here. See how foggy it's getting? Isn't that wild? But this technology is coming further. There are a lot of unscrupulous auto financiers that, hey, you're a day late, boom, come and get the car. One thing that's very popular right now is you have a vehicle that's paid off and you go to the bank and you say, hey, listen, I'm going to borrow against this car. It's called auto pawn. And they will lend you money against the value of the car and the pink slip to the car. But the problem with it is that the interest rates are incredibly high for this. And if you don't make the payment, they'll come look for the car. I've seen people get their cars repossessed on the 31st day. Oh, you're a day late. We're coming to get the car. Oh, yeah, sure you are. And they show up and get it. So, isn't this great? No, misty that is. Like a rainforest. Kind of a cool thing. Kind of something really different. You know, but you can see all the moisture in here, how the windows get all fogged up, and it's very cool. But this is the shape of things to come. Now, Mercedes-Benz, car manufacturer, they have a supercomputer put in their cars in all the newer models that they worked out with Google. And the problem with the supercomputer, and you can read the story below, is that they're going to have unprecedented control in your car. Now, here is the problem with this. A few years back, I got involved and I was the head of the class representative for a lawsuit with the toll roads. And the toll roads here in Orange County, where they got in a lot of trouble is that they sold our personal information. They took the personal information and would take where you drove, different off-ramps, what was more popular, and they would sell our data and do that on a regular basis. So with that, that was illegal. Couldn't do that. We didn't know that they were doing that. We needed to opt in for that. Well, Google's basically doing this, and I guarantee you that what's going to happen when you buy a Mercedes is that you're going to click a box and they're going to know everything about you. You're speeding, everything. What's going to happen with these supercomputers when they get sick of the way that you drive? Hey, we don't want people to go through the Cajon Pass at 80 miles an hour, so we're going to regulate your speed when you go up that hill at 65. You don't think they're going to do that? They're going to do that. This is Big Brother all over us. But what happens with a car that you pay for cash? Oh, we just turn the computer off so you don't have to worry about us ever shutting it off. Who would believe that? Would you believe that you'd be free of Big Brother forever when you pay these cars off? Because I don't. I think that they're going to be honest forever when it comes to this stuff. So this is interesting, but these banks are doing this more and more often, and they're just basically leaving these cars as paperweights in front of people's houses to where they don't have access to the vehicle. Sometimes they lock people out of the car. Horrible conditions where they have to make the payment or else. And again, people get in binds, things happen, but they're not allowing you to work through that. So fascinating stuff right now, to say the least. But the patent that Ford is going to have, just a matter of time until everybody else has something similar to that. You know that. Isn't this beautiful? I'm telling you, I wonder what the temperature increase in this place is. It's got to be something worthwhile, because it's just, stuff is just growing so beautifully in here. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? The people that have that rented cars from smaller rental companies. There was a couple about 6-8 years ago that was driving through the South. I believe it was Louisiana, and late to a wedding, so they were speeding. Yes, it was against the law. But when they got to the hotel and tried to swipe their credit card for the deposit, they had no money in their account. They had a provision in the rental car agreement that if they went so much above the speed limit, they would be imposed a ticket and a fine. And the fine kicked in like 6 times. So they had no money in their account because cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. How fair is that? Okay? They might as well have cameras inside the car watching us, what we do, what we say. You know, might as well, because that's what's happening with this. How do you feel about Ford with the ability to repossess the car? I think it's super cool myself, but I also think that this is horrible because stuff happens, okay? Gotta ask you a question. Somebody dies, okay? Say you have a loan on a car. Do they just, as you're trying to work that stuff out, because it takes time, and I know this firsthand, what do? Just have the car leave the front of the house? Oh, that's one less problem. Bye. You know what I mean? It gets ridiculous, guys. You can sit there and you can ponder this stuff But we're living in a big brother. We're living in a society where we have no freedom at all. No business freedom, no advertising freedom, no freedom to hire who we want, no freedom to run our business the way that we want, because it's just every man for himself, but you got to watch out for the other guy watching you. So let me know what you guys think about this stuff. Look at that thing. Isn't that thing beautiful? So I'll show you a little bit more of this place, guys. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. It's March. You need to set your financial goals right now. You need to work on your retirement today before it's too late. You need to call the good people at Patriot Gold at 888-330-1431 and get a free investor guide on how you can get a metals-backed IRA or 401k from Patriot Gold. They are the #1 rated IRA and 401k for over 6 years now from Consumer Affairs. They're the best-in-class service, but you need to look at what the experts are doing. The experts are telling you to buy gold. They're telling you that the recession that we're about to enter, that nobody wants to admit that we're in, is going to get much worse and be the worst thing that we've seen in our lifetimes. Do yourself a favor, get information on how you can get a physical backed metals IRA or 401k. Call Patriot Gold today, 888-330-1431. It's no obligation. They will answer all your questions. Look at what central banks are doing and what rich people are doing. They are buying gold, and you need to get yourself into gold right now. Call Patriot Gold today, 888-330-1431. Tell them that I allegedly sent you. There's much more to talk about. First thing is Germany just announced their inflation. Huge spike with German inflation. Who knew? France, same thing. Don't forget Spain, same thing. The UK, we talked about 17% food inflation yesterday. Guys, this is not gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. They are saying that this is the perfect time because of stagflation, okay? What is stagflation? Low demand, high inflation, and high unemployment. They're lying to us about the unemployment right now, but we're in stagflation right now. What's the best thing? Metals, gold. Bitcoin too, they're saying is gonna shoot up too. You be the judge of all that stuff. I'm not giving you financial advice for anything, but you need to look at this stuff and take advantage of it and look at the stories below. There's that. Blackstone, 2 great articles about Blackstone. Blackstone is talking about how with inflation being as bad as it is, and the fact that the Fed can do nothing to bring us back to the 2% level. Man, these guys got 2% in the brain. We gotta have 2% inflation, we gotta have 2% inflation. How about the poor people in the UK? Think they'd like 2% inflation right now when they just said it was 17% on food? Now, they don't count food, they don't count fuel, it's ridiculous, but it's sky high. Here's what you can do to get yourself protected. Who believes these people? Because they know it's a problem. They also, Blackstone said one honest thing, and that is that inflation is here to stay. And you need to run your business and run your life as if inflation is going to be here to stay. How do you do that? What do you do for that? Well, you have no debt. Try not to borrow money, and try not to borrow things that are going to go up in price, because, side note, what is the most popular thing that people are doing with a home right now? Home loans? What's the most popular thing? HELOC, getting themselves a line of credit to tap into that equity. So people are borrowing more money to tap into their equity than ever before, and it's a problem because you can't borrow yourself out of debt. These people are borrowing as much as they possibly can. Blackstone is seeing more and more communities that are going to be built that are going to be rental only. And these are people that will never be able to afford a house, but they're going to be able to rent inside of a new community. It's not the same. If you don't have the same pride of ownership, you have none of that when this happens. Blackstone is also seeing real problems with their REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. They just blocked $75 million worth of withdrawals right now. Okay, why? I thought everything's good. Make up your mind. You can't have it one way and not the other, but they're telling us to be worried, and they're worried right now. So stories are below, competing stories for the same thing, but this is the sign of the times, guys. You've got real estate is a real problem, manufacturing is a real problem, inflation is completely out of control. The Fed has done nothing to help us right now during this time, and you should do everything you can not to borrow money. Look at your credit card statements and check those credit card bills, because I'm telling you, I did this morning myself and took my own advice, and I was furious at a couple of these people because, hey, guess what? You signed here, you clicked here, and interest rate went up 5%. Okay? I own nothing on the card, guys. Okay? Terrible. The other thing is they're turning off automated warnings. In other words, like, hey, I have a warning that'll text me when the payment's due on a card. Sorry, we shut that off last month. You need to go in and reapply that notification. Well, that's designed so you get a late payment, guys. That's what that's for. And it should infuriate you because, I'm sorry, sir, we can't give you that $35 late fee back. You know, do it with 1,000 people, guys. Make a lot of money doing that. So share your thoughts on this stuff. This is the beginning of this, guys. This is just the beginning of it. But this is a global problem. You're having this problem in Germany, France, Spain, the UK, the United States. I don't care where you live. In Canada, they anticipate that housing prices are going to drop easily 15% in 2023. And you know, I had somebody write me today, and I got to give this guy credit. I can't say his name because they didn't give me the authorization to do that, but think about this. If something goes up 50% and then drops 25%, it's still up, 50%, 25%. You're not gaining anything by that happening. It's not a crash yet. Real estate has not crashed the way it needs to. And we need to drop below the 2020 prices for this to be realistic. And I personally think that's what you're going to see next. So let me know what you think about this. Share your thoughts on this stuff. And by the way, isn't this kind of a cool spot? It's really warm. I mean, it's super warm in here. It's really nice. I love stuff like this. The U.S. Postal Service just announced that they're going to buy 9,250 electric vans to deliver the mail across the country from Fiat. They're going to buy 16,000 charging stations to charge those vehicles from Siemens. Okay? Great. Huge purchase. Billions of dollars. They also said because of the demand and the slow delivery and the problem with converting them, they're going to buy another 9,250 gas-powered vehicles from the Ford Motor Company. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Don't you guys think so? But once again, the Postal Service is the butt of so many jokes throughout the year. It's just become such a mess right now. And, they're going to do this. Okay. Good luck with that. Great article if you're interested of what the average electric car owner looks like. And yeah, he's a sweater wearing douche, most of them. And I'm going to hear it from the people that are out there. They traded in their higher expensive cars, and they're cool. Okay, just ask them and they will tell you. Okay, so maybe they could work for the Postal Service. Okay, again, ding, 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 ding. GM said, hey, we're not going to lay off anybody, and we're not going to have any cutbacks right now. Okay, great. But they're quietly firing 500 people a week right now. 500 people a week. Okay? For those of you keeping track, that's over 2,000 a month that are losing their job at General Motors right now. But we're not planning on cutbacks, and don't get any ideas that we are. Things are good here. Things are great. Corner Bakery, nice place. Sandwich shops, 140 locations they have across the country. They just filed for bankruptcy because things are so good. Once again, Corner Bakery is a mid-level restaurant sandwich place where they had sandwiches and you got some pasta dishes and things like that, and pastries and coffees and things like that. but filed bankruptcy out of Texas, and they're in real trouble because they cannot help the franchisees make money right now, which is a big problem. Next thing, MasterCard and Visa was going to roll out this big Bitcoin thing where they were going to be able to buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, Bitcoin incentives and things like that, and they're going to delay it because of the crash of cryptocurrency recently. Okay? Kind of a, not really a concern, but just delayed right now. That's what they're going to do. So, interesting. What do you guys think about that? I think that it's just a matter of time until we start to see more and more of the cryptocurrencies be a bigger part of our lives. I really do. So, share your thoughts on what you guys think about this so far. It's interesting, Inflation is out of control. Again, I love gold stocks. I love metals. I love all that stuff. And for you guys not to sit there and look at getting yourself into some type of safe haven, you're kidding yourself. What is Bitcoin a safe haven against? I have people that tell me how stupid I am that I'm not in this, but let me know, guys, what you guys think about this. I really want to know. And man, it is, it's raging outside. Watch the wind. Watch how bad this is when I go outside. Check this out. Okay, I'm going back inside. Crazy how the wind is out there. Couple things. Remote work has destroyed New York City. And to give you an idea, when you have a major event like a Super Bowl, World Series, even a baseball game inside of a big city like Chicago, the amount of money that's spent is huge. And it really does help the economy. They're saying that remote work has cost New York City $12.3 billion right now in lost spending. Guys, that is insane when you think about that. That's just unbelievable when you think about that. People don't travel into the city, they don't pay for cabs, they don't buy lunch, they don't buy clothes, they don't shop, they don't go to the drugstore, they don't do anything when you have remote working, and it just destroys everything. This is what happens with lost venues and lost events, like when Coachella was down for 2 years, destroyed the Coachella Valley, and it absolutely killed it. So things like this are needed to come back to revive economies and revive cities. So they need to do what they can do to bring business back to the downtown area. I'm going to end this video with these last few stories, and the first one was sent to me by Samantha, and she was in a Lowe's and noticed that theft is such a problem in Lowe's that they put cameras on every single aisle now in her Lowe's, and she got a kick out of it because one of the cameras was not operating, so I'm sure that was the highest crime in the store. But Lowe's also has done something else too to fight crime. There are drills, there are electric power tools that you can buy that will be inactivated unless they go to the register and get ran through a certain scanner that will make them activated. So if you ever are given the opportunity to buy a power drill or something at a dramatically reduced price, odds are it could be stolen and you never are able to even use it. So you have to make sure you can use the drill. Next thing is Apollo Global Management. The CEO of the company, Tustin stock, he just stepped forward and says, hey, we've hit the bottom of the real estate market. It's time to get back in. He's delusional, absolutely flippin' delusional. So you guys can do whatever you want, but if you think that we've hit the bottom of the real estate market, you're kidding yourself. And this guy is sniffing glue because of the next thing, which is Neil Kashkari, who is Lex Luthor of the Fed. It's the bald dude, okay? He may take over for Lael Brainerd because she got promoted to Grand Poobah of something else. But Neil Kashkari says we definitely have to raise interest rates more. So talking about an organization that is the most dysfunctional thing ever, that none of us voted for, but all have different opinions that affect each and every one of our lives in such a dramatic fashion, it's the Fed. The final thing is an article out of Business Insider that I want you to read because it is absolutely insane, and that is that baby boomers made everything expensive. We put such a demand on everything in the marketplace that made prices go up through the roof, and that we're the direct cause for inflation and for everything going up. The shortages, the price hikes, everything is because of us older folks. So, okay? Man, who writes this stuff? What editor says, yeah, it's a good idea for a story? I've had people proofread stuff in my lifetime. You can't say that. What are you doing? You can't make these allegations. Anyways, I guess you can if you write for Business Insider. Please don't forget to hit the like button. You're the cause of everything going up in value and price. Don't forget that. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Join the email list. Don't forget, if you want more exclusive content, there is Patreon and the link is below. Onward and Upward, guys. I'll be outside again soon. Okay? See you guys.